In this video, I'm going to explain to you the most tried and true personality assessment tool. Maybe you've heard of MBTI and you're like, what does it mean?
Myers-Briggs type indicator.
In your Myers-Briggs personality type, you'll get 4 letters, and I'll explain each of those by turn. In your first slot, you have an E or an I, which stands for extrovert or an introvert. As an extrovert, you're very relational, very social, you're people-oriented. As an introvert, you don't mind being alone, and sometimes you actually prefer that to being with a big group of people. My favorite way to think of the differences between an introvert and an extrovert is with a wireless Xbox controller or a wired Xbox controller. An introvert is a wireless controller because they can be out and away from the home for a little bit, but they gotta come back home to charge. And an extrovert is like a wired controller with a really long wire. We get charged up by being out, being with people, moving around. In your second spot, you have an S or an N, which stands for sensing or intuitive, because Myers-Briggs knows how to spell. Now, the S and the N are all about how you process information. The S stands for sensory, and people who have the sensory trait, they focus on their 5 senses, the things that they can tangibly see, feel, touch, smell, and hear. People with the S trait are going to be the ones that notice when you have a stain on your pants. When you think of somebody with the intuition trait or the intuitor, you can think of them as big idea people. In your third slot, you have a T or an F, which stands for thinker or feeler. Now, the thinker makes decisions based on their thoughts. They tend to be more logical, a little less sensitive. They might tend to be a little offensive sometimes. And the feeler makes decisions based on feelings, emotions, how it's going to make other people feel, how it makes them feel. And as much as I'd like to think of myself as a logical person, I got to admit, feelings are really what makes life worth living. And in your last slot, you have what might be most important. You have a P or a J, which stands for prospecting or judging. So the P stands for prospecting, perspective, how they see the potential in things, and they tend to focus on how things could be. It's not so much about how things are. P's tend to live more in the moment. They're more like in the moment fun types. And the J, judging, doesn't stand for judgmental, but J people make judgments based on how things are right now. J people tend to live a more structured life. J's are very good at being organized, and that's why I wish I had the J trait. Myers-Briggs personality types are often correlated with love languages. So if you can know somebody's personality type, you can take a pretty good guess at figuring out what their top love languages are. That's one way that it could serve you. So if you've never taken a Myers-Briggs personality test, just go ahead and click that link down in the description below. And then after you take it, you can go ahead and leave a comment saying your personality type, why you think it's the best, which personality types you get along with really well, and which personality types you hate. And if you want more videos like this one, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below.